Hi, this is April from Craft Knife Chronicles, and this summer I attended Epic Paper Art's Steampunk Soiree. This was a 3-day paper arts convention, I guess you could say, that had a steampunk theme. So not only did we do paper crafting, but there were a lot of activities around steampunk, contests with costumes, and oh my gosh, there were fabulous costumes that people had designed, and hats, and all sorts of activities, fun and fellowship. And it was put on by 3 artists: Kathryn Krieger of Kathryn Scraps, Jim Hankins, the Gentleman Crafter, and Orta from Paper Phenomenon. And these projects that you see here are what we worked on during the 3-day conference, and in fact some of the folks even managed to complete their projects. It took me a little bit longer to finish, but now they're done and I'm here to share them with you. So the one on the left is Kathryn Krieger's, and that one she called Radical Revolution. And in the center is Jim Hankins' project named All Geared Up, and on the right is Orta's project. Now all of these projects have an exciting element about them. They all open up in some way to display memory keeping aspects on the inside. So I will take you through each one in turn, and we'll look at some of the details. They all have used Graphic 45 Steampunk Debutante paper, and the fabulous decorations on the outside are chipboard that was from Blue Fern Studios, and then they were highlighted with gold using Indigo Blues, Mega Flakes, and Flutter Glue products. It was an awesome event. The instructors and the staff were so accommodating, so prepared, and everything was just so much fun to participate in. I'm so glad I had the opportunity to go to that conference. And so now let's look at each of the projects in a little bit more detail. So this first one is Kathryn Krieger's, and I want to just see if I can turn it a little bit so you can see the really cool chipboard elements. Pardon my hands coming into the video to do that, but it has 2 pieces, and then what I did was I used some ribbon to act like a corset binding here on the sides. And then what makes the Radical Revolution part of this is that when the lid comes off, there's a hole inside that turns around. So let me see if I can get that out of here. So this base, the inside has a turntable on the bottom that allows it to spin around, hence the revolution part of the name. And there are 12 of these pages in the inside, and each one opens up so that there are multiple opportunities to put photos inside. So there's 12 pages and there's 4 on each page, so there's room for 48 2x3 photos. And I got a new little Canon selfie printer, and I've got a lot of photographs to put it in there, so I'm excited to get them in there. So there's a lot of different kinds of decorations on the pages, from flowers to metal embellishments, all sorts of different things in there, and of course the steampunk debutante paper and some of its elements as well. So that's Kathryn Krieger's project. Next up, we have the project designed by Jim Hankins, and this project stands about 16 inches tall, and the paper mache cylinder box is probably about 6 inches in diameter, just to give you an idea of the size of the project. And it has two doors that open in the front. Now at the soiree there were some challenges with those doors, and so actually Jim redesigned the project to not include the doors and have some different elements besides the mini album on the inside. But when I got home, I was really intrigued by the idea of having those doors, and so Jim had already designed the chipboard for them, so I figured out a way to add them on, and I really like that interactive aspect to the construction. So again, pardon my arm while I reach in here to undo this clasp and open up the doors. On the inside you can see more of the Steampunk debutante paper, and then the mini album is in the center. Let me just remove that so we can see the construction. There are two pillars on the left and the right. Those are 1-inch dowels covered with paper, and the lid is permanently affixed to those. And then in the center, Tim Holt's die, the easel die I think it's called, was used to make a stand for the little mini album to hold on to. And I will show you some close-ups of the mini album. Up on the top, the crown area, it's a paper crown covered with some more of the Mega Flakes by Indigo Blue. And then I just added a punched out Martha Stewart punched it, that's the black curvy part at the base of the crown. Then some extra metal ornaments that are on the front. And at the very top is a Prima flower that with its petals twisted, it looks kind of like a propeller. And then intertwined all in amongst that is a long stretched out skinny spring that just adds some visual interest. And now I'll turn the project around so you can get the full effect of the wonderful Blue Fern Studios chipboard on this project. So here's the back of the project with the doors open, and I just all of these projects, I can't get over looking at how wonderful the chipboard designs are, and how well they go with each of the different projects. So when I switch the camera angle, I will bring in the mini album and show you some close-ups of that. This is a close-up of the mini that's inside of Jim Hankins' project. It's based on a stopwatch die, and it has 2 covers and 8 pages inside. It's very thick. It's about 1.5 inches thick, which is really pushing the borderline of what the container can hold. And the reason it's so thick is that I've chosen to add a lot of the artist trading cards that I received at the event, and I might have to switch out 1 or 2 of them for something that's a little skinnier. So I just for each of the cards I made a little acetate pocket here with a couple of gears. They're stapled on, and then the gears just covered up the staples, but that's what I chose to do with the little mini that's inside of Jim Hankins' project. The final project was designed by Kathy Orta, the paper phenomenon, and it again has an interactive element that we'll see in a minute. Kathy had a simpler base to the project, but I needed some height for the way I wanted to display the three of them together, and so I designed a slightly higher platform for it to sit on. Now let me reach in here and show you a little bit about how this works. So first off, the lid comes off, and then I'm going to keep it on the base so that you can, the base helps to support it when it's open because it kind of curves. So I've started opening it up a little bit. You can see there's a split. The canister is split so that it opens up to the left and the right. And it has a hinge on the bottom and then a Rolodex kind of thing in the center. So I'm using the base here just to kind of, the little wood knobs on the base help it to keep from rolling around. Obviously, since it's a cylinder, it's round on the bottom and it wants to roll around, so this helps it to stay in one place. So inside, on each side, there are 6 pockets that use Kathy's hidden hinge binding system, and inside of each of those pockets I have 5 photos, and they just they slip in and out on colored backings. And then also in here I have we exchanged artist trading cards like I was showing you in Jim Hankins' project, and so I had more, and so I put them in envelopes in here. And so that is Kathy Orta's project. I'll show you a top view of it too, so you can get a little bit better idea of, or another viewpoint at least, about how it opens up. So I've switched the camera view so we could take a look at Kathy Orta's project from the top. First off, you can see the cool embellishments that are on the top, so that it looks like a clock face with the different numerals, Roman and I forget what you call the regular numbers. And then a lot of cool Prima embellishments, some Tim Holtz embellishments as well on the top. And then when we take the lid off, well, first I'm going to turn it a little bit. Remember that there's that dividing line in the canister, so I've turned it so that the dividing line is facing me. It's going this way through it. I'm going to take the lid off, and now I'll open it up and you can see the inside and the cool Rolodex aspect of this a little bit more, so you can see how the different pages come in here. As I said, there's 12, 6 on each side, and then each of these pages are pockets that hold, I have 5 photographs in each one, and in between some of them I have additional pockets that hold artist trading cards that I traded for at the event. So that is how this project looks from this view. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing my version of the projects from Epic Paper Art Steampunk Soiree event. They were a lot of fun to create, and I have a link to their website in the description, so please check that out. Also, I'll have some still photographs at the end of this video to give you some close-up pictures of some of the details. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.